Alicia, every time I see you,
we've got a lot to laugh about.
A lot to laugh about.
Memories.
Memories. Alicia Upstairs, who is a cabaret star from London, visiting South Africa. I even put on an accent when I talked to you. Just to give you context, Alicia and I studied together.
And we were the only 4 Afrikaans students.
At that time at the University of Cape Town. I think...
In our year.
Yeah. And you were playing the good fairy, and I was playing the bad fairy.
Yes.
And you were Flora
Hard to
Dora.
believe. Yeah.
That's when you met the phenomenal Godfrey Johnson. And that's one of the reasons why you're here. Before I get to Godfrey Johnson, I just want to ask you, cabaret is an underrated art form, am I allowed to say, in South Africa?
I think so, yeah. From my experience, yes.
It's not like I open Die Burger and it goes cabaret showing this weekend. Yeah.
No.
Just tell us, for those who are as ignorant as I, cabaret, because they teach it in Stellenbosch, where you also study.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, they probably teach it now, but they taught it, they taught us. We did the Henny Okamp,
Yes.
Seven Doodsondes cabaret. I played Anger.
Of course.
And then again, it makes sense that I should be the bad fairy, right?
That's I want to be the bad fairy. Good fairy.
Yeah. So I learned that style of cabaret at Stellenbosch. We also did some theory of cabaret at Stellenbosch, and I was interested in it from that time. I think because as a performer, I always tend to sing, always go into sort of like singing. Some people would go into movement naturally, but I would be like going into singing naturally. So there wasn't really cabaret at UCT when I went to UCT.
Not at all. No.
But I learned a lot about devised theatre at UCT.
Yes.
And I still always incorporated music. So I know that there was a production we took to Grahamstown, and I sang in that production. There was another production I did at UCT, just, things that come to mind now. And I sang in that production, and the production we took to Italy, I sang in that, So there was always singing involved with my acting. And really, cabaret is acting through song.
It's a kind of a storytelling.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's just be very stupid here and ask you the dumbest question. And I think it confuses some people. The difference between a musical and a cabaret.
Yeah. Okay, so cabaret is generally episodic in structure, so that every song is a separate unit and it can stand on its own, which is why the kind of things that I do in London very often is combined with other performers. So one performer will come and do a burlesque number, and one will come and do magic, and one will come and do stand-up, and then I will come and do a song, and then repeat, right? So you have that sort of thing. So what I do in my one-woman shows and my shows with Godfrey, we see each song as a separate scene, so that you can then remove that or replace that. And the difference between the show we are currently doing and the one before is that we were simply able to remove some of the songs and replace them with others for whatever reason. And I think these little changes that we made were very positive in terms of the production as a whole. So apparently it's a much better show than before, and we only really replaced 2 songs.
But you understand the idea of process being in theatre, that things kind of move forward, and that it can't be rushed when you're thinking of a production. But it looks to me that cabaret is far more versatile, far more free than musicals then.
Absolutely.
It's not written in, it's not set in stone.
Yeah, absolutely. And also because I'm not a dancer at all,
I can try.
I can only take the piss with my dancing. I
Good.
can only send it up. That's the only way I ever use it. So I was never suited to musical theatre, the kind where there's a lot of dancing, because obviously they are the kinds of musicals like Les Mis, where it's mainly standing and singing and acting. But the types with dancing, I wouldn't be suited to that anyway. But if I can self-deprecate. Self-deprecation was something really important that I learned on my MA, that my lecturer on my MA. To take the piss with you, to take the mickey.
Take the mickey out
of yourself.
Out of yourself.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
So it's different to satire.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So it's really about trying to look at your flaws and bringing them to the fore. So really focusing in on your flaws and really going, okay, I can't dance, so let me show you how I can't dance, right?
That's so cool.
Yeah. So there was one in the previous version of the show where I said something about the German flag, and then I basically say, I don't have a sense of. I'm so German. I don't have a sense of humor because I'm so German.
Yes.
So the German flag, the colors of the German flag.
The colors of the German flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So red is for work. Black is for work. Yellow is for work. Blue is for humor. So we have a lot of humor on this table right now. Yeah. And that is an example of me not having a sense of humor.
Which is ironic because every time I see you, I don't know what it is about you. So you're showcasing things of you that you can take the mickey out of self.
In nice self-deprecate.
Deprecate. Yeah. I'm thinking of other words there, but it kind of rhymes with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but so this is like, let's say that's in the academic context, that's what you'll call it, yeah.
May I say that I think that a lot of South Africans, and we'll talk about the audience in the UK and the difference between the audience, if you don't mind, because naturally there's a massive,
of course,
there's a massive audience. But I think that a lot of audience members think that if they're going to watch a cabaret, it's going to be high-end theatre. It might go over their heads. And you do sometimes watch theatre cabaret where you're quite bored.
Yeah, but I mean, the kind of cabaret that I don't like is the singing the American songbook. So that's what I would classify as the American style of cabaret. It's really singing the American songbook, which, for example, those songs like "Fly Me to the Moon" and what do you do with that song?
I don't know. You fly your audience to sleep.
Yeah. So I try to steer away from the American songbook, and to the degree that there was this one guy that I approached via a contact, and he said to me, "You are too fringe for this particular venue in London because it's so American songbook."
Just
it's American songbook.
Explain to us, what does too fringe mean?
So my style of cabaret is too dramatic, I guess. There's too much of a visual impact. I break the fourth wall in the sense of I call my style of cabaret immersive participatory cabaret, and that really means that I'm in the faces of the audience or on their laps or something like that will happen in every single show, that I really do the personal, up close and personal contact. Yeah.
But I like that. The fact that you're breaking the fourth wall and you're really communicating to them, because I think you've got this cabaret on stage and you kind of go, how does the audience in South Africa differ with your immersive theatre, as you call it, to your audience participation to the UK audience?
Yeah, maybe they're slightly more surprised
in South Africa.
Yeah, maybe they're slightly more surprised. They normally really like it because it's done in a complimentary way. So for me, what's also really important is I do not want to insult my audience. Like some cabaret performers do. They will find something to really critique someone and insult them in a personal way. I really try to give the audience a sort of positive experience of a compliment. I'm complimenting them by the way I interact with them, as opposed to
breaking them down. Because you don't want to pay some bucks to be broken down.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the main difference, you'd say? Or I mean,
between the audiences, I think it's just more surprising to them than to the British audience. Yeah.
who is more used to this kind of theatre. Because you performed in West End. You're performing all the time in London. It's amazing. We're sad to have lost you here in South Africa, because who are the cabaret stars left when you...
Yeah, I'm not really that informed about the South African cabaret circuit. I know that people like Alcibizit Zimane is still performing.
Absolutely amazing. And then, of course, your Godfrey Johnson that you work.
Of course, yes.
But you can literally...
Yeah, you can sort of name them on one hand. I'm doing a show at the Museum of Comedy in London for the second time. That's the one that's coming up now. And so what's good about that is that it's really forcing me to really focus in on the comedy element of it, because what I believe is that it should always be a cabaret should always be an experience of an emotional roller coaster for the audience, which is why the laughter is so important. So if you want to say that a torch song, for example, is really important in the show, and I mean I've had people write, this is her strength, we're singing torch songs, but I have to give them the comedy as well. I have to give them the balance. So the good thing about performing this new show at the Museum of Comedy, as is the first venue where it will be performed, is that it forces me more to focus in on the comedy.
It's actually nice for yourself as well. It's kind of a bittersweet thing.
Yeah, and about the topic that the show is about, borderline personality disorder, is... It's something that it's very hard to find comedy around that topic. So I start the show with saying something like, I asked ChatGPT to give me jokes about borderline personality disorder, and it said it is inappropriate to joke about a serious mental health condition.
This content violates.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, right. So that's not going to go anywhere. So I had to search high and low to find jokes around that topic. And one of the jokes I managed to put into Simpatico, into the current show, just to try it out.
Yes.
So that works. Yeah, well, we've done it once now, but yeah, it works.
Well, I'm going to come watch your show on Saturday.
Right.
By the way, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. I'm going to come watch the show.
Sunday.
On Sunday. So if I came on Saturday, I would have sat there all alone.
Yeah.
I love Sunday shows.
It's totally a matinee at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, fabulous.
On a Sunday, yeah.
All right. So I haven't seen Simpatico, and your working relationship with Godfrey has been so phenomenal. Tell me about performances in Cape Town. How's it been? How is the audience has been? Have you had full houses?
Yeah, well, we had a very successful show at Toneel Huis. And apparently the show is much better than the last version. I think maybe the audience, the ones who saw it before, can tell that we are both in better places in our lives. Okay. I think we're also more comfortable about talking about slightly more personal things. More autobiographical, or going slightly deeper into autobiographical territory. And then we changed some of the songs around. So apparently it's working really well.
I think it's nice because the show's matured, obviously. Yeah. We mature as people, and we're more open about who we are and what we feel. Now, a lot of South Africans are going to ask this question. You are Francois van Coke's sister. And how was it growing up? Look, it's funny because he's the biggest rocker probably in this country, and you're the biggest cabaret star in this country. So it's an interesting amalgamation of talents in one family. And how was it growing up? Were you both singing? How was it? And I wish you guys would do a song together. Can I just say that?
Yeah, we have done, but it's totally private.
I want to hear it. Could be fun.
His book came out not that long ago, so he gave me a copy on Wednesday, and he wrote the dedication in the front of the book talks about the fact that I taught him his first guitar chords, which I'm very happy that that it was acknowledged in the book. And the book also talks about the first song that he learned from me, which he reminded me of on the night. So we grew up with a lot of exposure to music and theater, and so I'm 6 years older than him, so I was the older sister kind of trying to force the younger brother to play guitar, you know.
Well, good for
come
you.
on, you have to learn. This is really easy, because I started playing guitar at a fairly young age. And we're a very theatrical family because my parents met on stage in a school play, so we were bound to, be quite comfortable in that arena.
And these different forms, these different styles of music.
Yeah, but also our parents didn't give us rock or cabaret. They gave us classical music and church music. That's it. That's what we grew up with.
Grew up in the church. And,
Oh, yes, there's also that.
There's also that. So I didn't mention that. Your father's like... What?
There's also that.
But interesting though how church music, I mean the organ and all of that is quite influential. It could have had an influence on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about Tori Amos, if you think about Nina Simone, there are many different artists who connected with music in church at the start of their lives, and then went
certainly
from there.
Must have had an influence.
Katy Perry. She's in the news at the moment. That's why that's why her name comes to mind. She's another one. Yeah.
I wanted to say I've got the eye of the tiger, but that's not the right. That's not the right song.
Raw.
Raw. You want to hear me roar? All right. So she's roaring at the moment.
Yeah, she is.
But so if we look at cabaret that you've done, you've always put together, I don't know, different styles, from Japanese styles to this style. You've always experimented with things.
Yeah. So I'm interested in intercultural performance as well. This was probably, in a way, a result of going to UCT, because at UCT, for me, it was the first time I met Black people on a social level when I went to UCT. And I was really, really interested in discovering as much as possible about other cultures. And these people were now here, right in front of me, doing the same course. And we were devising together. So we were putting all our different cultures together in this melting pot and creating something from there. So, so intercultural performance my interest in intercultural performance started then. And I took that through to at least my MA, was very much looking at combining different cultures in the work, and also interlingual. So I sing in 17 languages, and
that for me is astounding, because you sang in Dutch, in German.
Yeah.
How is it? How?
So
you do that?
Whenever it's possible, I learn from the locals. Like when I was in Korea, I had to learn a song in Korean, of course, and learn from the locals. When it's, let's say it's a song in Spanish, I will just make sure that I check it with a Spanish speaker, my pronunciation, French, same. So, Italian is fine.
Italian is fine.
It's fine. Italian's fine. I'm Italian now, So I've been Italian for a while. Yeah.
Yes, you speak Italian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how cabaret is almost... Well, I don't know which one is exactly. I nearly spoke Afrikaans because you and I are both. But cabaret has almost taught you or forced you or be open-minded, to embrace certain things, and to be able to move in different directions. You just can't be stagnant.
Yeah, exactly. So I always want to be inclusive to the audience. And I also learned, I experienced how people appreciate the fact that you're singing in their language, even if you're not doing it perfectly.
Exactly.
It's like their faces light up, It's like, you're singing in my language. So people really appreciate that, even if it's not perfect. Because you've made a hell of an effort to learn that song in their language if you don't speak it.
If you are in South Africa, who's your Afrikaans? Don't talk about your brother. But there's some Afrikaans songs that really stand up.
Yeah,
stand out.
We have one Afrikaans song in the show, composed by Zigrin Pashke. We lost Zigrin not that long ago. There's one Afrikaans song and then another song that she wrote. So the current version of the show has 2 of Zigrin's songs in it. And then we are doing a Brel. What we do with Jacques Brel often is we go into multiple languages. So I sing Namakitapa in 3 languages. And we are going to sing the song for old lovers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so we do that in 2 languages because we kind of threw that in like right at the end, like quick and easy encore number to do. So yeah.
Jacques Brel. I can't imagine Godfrey doing a cabaret without him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the great thing about working with Godfrey is that our repertoire is so similar that even when I looked at the script, I was thinking, who is singing Amsterdam, me or him? Because we have the same songs in our repertoire.
It's amazing that you always come here and you collaborate with Godfrey Johnson. And I'm glad that you're doing that because you're giving us something special,
Yeah.
And it's lovely to see him, because he's worked with Peter Dirk Ace, to work with you. You said that you are working on a special show. Are we allowed to say something
It's
about
a very long-term plan.
Let's do the long-term plan.
I can't commit to this long-term plan right now.
You're on film. No, but we always get excited with you coming here, and seeing you grow and all of that. I still just want to talk about cabaret because I still...
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm trying to see. All right, so you have kind of moved. You studied your PhD, or so you keep on trying to discover new ways to do cabaret, innovative ways to do cabaret. And you must remember, we're in South Africa, so we're not like
Well, they could always ask me to teach, at least, to come and do a master class or something.
I will come to a master class because I just adore the idea of cabaret. It's kind of this big entertaining thing. But then you've gone and you've put all these different things together like a puzzle and kind of exploded it. Where are you going to go with this? Don't you know?
No, I don't know because I don't know. I don't know.
Is there strict rules, or...
It's a case of whatever speaks to you at the time,
Right.
In fact, we were talking. I was talking to my parents about this, and my father was saying, it's like the verse from the Bible that speaks to you. That's the one that you are going to make your sermon about, and it's this because he was basically relating it to how I say, if you're interested in a particular song for whatever reason at that moment in your life. For example, at the moment it's Both Sides Now, Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now.
Beautiful song.
So that's in the next show. And I know why I'm interested in that song and what sparked my interest and how that all happened. It actually happened at Zigrin's funeral. So, yeah. So I went through all the emotions of that song to the point where when I'm singing it now, I don't cry anymore. But I had to go through all of that. So you choose the material that appeals to you at that time.
Okay.
And then sometimes you move on. There are some songs that you just can't sing anymore because you don't have that connection.
So
it's lost.
I think the difference is not doing not singing a song, doing a proper cover of a song and making it your own.
Yeah, that's what I mean by
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference. You get brilliant covers, and then you just get
Yeah.
Don't sing that.
Lots of them.
Yeah, lots and lots of them. I suppose it's that.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're choosing songs. But you also write your own music, which I love, all the albums that you've brought out. One song that you recorded at Milestone Studios. That's interesting for me.
Oh, you noticed that?
I
wow,
noticed
that's
that.
So long ago, yeah.
But it's fun. Milestones is always a lovely studio.
So long ago, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and the solo album things that are going. How's it been going selling music? It's really tricky, isn't it?
People don't buy music.
They don't. Hey?
I can basically, they won't. Hard copy CDs. People won't even take them for free. People don't have CD players anymore.
I don't know. We talk about this a lot, in these podcasts, and it's something that really upsets me because I wish it would come back, and I know it's never going to happen. But just in terms of the money, obviously. So I'm going to ask you, how do you make a living how often do you have to perform, and what do you do to put money in your bank account?
On the table.
On the table.
Bread on the table.
Bread and butter, if you're lucky.
Wine, yeah.
Yeah.
Wine is more important than bread and butter.
Wine is more important.
So how do I put wine on the table?
Wine or bread? I remember we were broke students once. We were like, it was Dion. We were like, is it going to be wine or bread?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it was a potato or bread or wine. And the one actress came back with wine.
Yeah, there you go, Wow. So I teach. And my specialization at the moment is really to help people develop their creative ideas. So I have students who come to me to help them with their final projects for their master's degrees, for example. And then I will give them the creative consultation necessary to really to put their shows together, and then they can take those shows to festivals and so on, or book them in theaters or things like that. So I do things like that, and sometimes that is my only creative outlet during those periods of time, and then I will go back to my own thing and carry on working on my own things. It's
a constant battle, isn't it? To a degree. Because here you are being paid to be creative, which is obviously the most wonderful joy in the world. But at the same time, there is those times where it's almost, kind of coming together. What would you say to people, specifically in South Africa, that want to pursue cabaret? I mean, should they?
Well,
students.
I think people should never not pursue something because they think there won't be an audience for it. You will always find an audience. If you put your passion into something, you will always find an audience. And I'm okay with 3 people in front of me, I'm okay not to make any money.
Doesn't Liza Minnelli perform in front of so few? But she just charges a lot of money.
Yeah, just charge them £1,000 a ticket.
Exactly. Listen, you are part of a university and you teach and you've got your PhD. Do you find there's a problem with the universities in South Africa? I'm talking about a lot of people saying, come study acting.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you think, what do you think they should add? Because obviously these people have to make money. And you see more and more. I mean, I was at a premiere the other day, just broke actors. Should something not be added to that to make it? What do you think?
Well, I hope that by now, I mean, it wasn't in our time. We had this one class, maybe like a few hours of like how to brand yourself or make your... So those things have developed a lot from my experience in the UK. But I would hope that it's the same over here, that you are creating your brand and so that you can create your own work. So I really try to focus on making my students understand that they need to create their own work. Yes, it's wonderful if you're going to be cast in a West End show
Of
or
course
whatever,
that's
whatever, but it
wonderful.
may never happen. And it's difficult. I mean, you know, you don't want to demotivate them, but you also want them to be a bit realistic, because I think what happened in my case, at least, is it was a big wake-up call after drama school, because things changed so much politically in our country at the time.
Absolutely.
We went into drama school thinking that, but at the end of it, there was something there, and that something was not there. I won't even say what that something, but you know what I mean. And that something was gone by the time we got out of it, you know. And so that is, and that's why so many people give up the profession. Because it's really so difficult. So I basically say, well, this is the hardest career you can possibly choose, you know. So be ready to create your own work. And one way of creating your own work is something like cabaret, because you can easily do it as a one-person show. You can easily tour with it.
Yes.
You can do it if you can't afford the musicians, you can do it with backing tracks. So I have different versions, you know. I have the version with the musicians, which is my favorite, but then sometimes I have to do the stripped down version with the backing tracks, because that's just the nature of what they're going to pay me, or a festival touring production, or whatever it is. I think it's really important for actors to really think about, how can I create my own work? Because,
Now you're saying backing tracks, but when I look at a lot of South African singers, it's backing tracks singing. So now once again, you've got to say, how do you make backing tracks and a voice cabaret?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, because you are still not standing on a stage just singing to the track, you know, because you have the theatrical elements around it to make it more interesting. Because if you just rely on that backing track and singing to the, I mean, that is, you know, that is not art. But even if you have to compromise on that one part of the musicians, you can still give them something that's visually interesting enough, and in terms of your interaction with the audience, interesting enough to sell it.
And if you had to give one valuable advice when you do cabaret, right, to somebody that's new in the cabaret world, and as a performer, what do you think is the most important?
Well, again, I'll go back to, like, so you probably want about 12 songs for a cabaret set.
Okay.
So this I actually learned at the International Cabaret Conference at Yale that I went to.
We're getting some tips.
Yeah. So I've got...
Just say that again, the International
Cabaret Conference at Yale. Yeah.
At Yale.
Yeah, I got a scholarship for that, so I couldn't afford it
really?
at all. Yeah,
That's
like
amazing.
some other scholarships in my life. Yeah, so it was one of the many scholarships that I had to get in my life to get through my life in the
thank
way
goodness
I
you got the scholarships to do it.
So then I learned the ideal cabaret set, how it works, that it's 12 songs, and then there's the sort of torch song, which is the 11th hour. It's called this
You've mentioned the torch song before, and I'm thinking of Florence Nightingale. What's the torch song?
Oh, the torch song is something like Lush Life. I'll have to sing one
Maybe
now.
like a torch song. I don't know what that means.
A song that's deep and meaningful and serious.
Oh,
Right?
the serious.
Yeah.
Oh.
The deep and meaningful and serious song that you just stand and
Leonard
deliver.
Cohen.
Yeah,
The
Leonard Cohen.
Cohen.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do Dance Me to the End of Love, but I don't do it as that number. I do it as the one after, because I get the audience to dance along to it. So I bring people onto the floor, because it's normally a floor and not a stage, in couples, and set them up and let them dance to Dance Me to the End of Love. And then there's this solo section where they're just dancing and I just stand back and watch them. Okay. So that's an example. That's the wrong example for the torch song.
I think I get it. It's like the sad clown.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. I can't come up with another.
It's a sad, serious song.
Bewitched, maybe as well.
Okay.
Could be one that I do.
Is it like a big thing? It's like the torch song.
Yeah, the
in
torch song
cabaret.
is really important, yeah. And you can't have just torch songs,
Ooh,
you see?
12 torch songs.
So you have to start with a number with a bit of a bang.
Yes.
And then you build up to your 11th hour, your torch song. And then you have to do, like with the structure of a well-made play, right? Denouement. So you get your audience, you get them on the journey of the climax. So that's the 11th hour, the torch song. And then you bring them down to end, right?
Wow.
So we don't always stick to 12 songs, but that's sort of the ideal structure of a cabaret show. And then what's really important is that the material really needs to appeal to you personally. And a lot of people personalize it. So they change the lyrics around and this and that. I changed the lyrics of I Want to Be Evil a little bit. But I'm not really the kind of person who changes lyrics. I'm a little bit of a purist for that. Quite a purist, quite a purist, let's say.
You've said that three. I'm quite a purist.
But I do sometimes change little things, or I sometimes forget my lines. Then I
you just
sing
make
the
up
wrong
stuff.
verse. Yeah, and you can scat, So Godfrey and I scat in the show as well, which is
Are you
great.
scatting
to
throughout
scat
the whole
together. Yeah. So that's what scatting is for, So you go into your shubidi bop 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 bop, when you need to. But yeah, if they choose material that's really that really appeals to them, that really speaks to them, that they can really emotionally connect with, and then they consider the chiaroscuro, the light and dark, that you have different shades. Then and they consider like 12 songs. You kind of got a show.
You kind of got a cabaret.
It's not
What
that
is your
hard.
torch song in Simpatico now? 'Cause I'm so interested in this torch song. I'm just going to wait for
So
it.
we have what we call the deep and meaningful section, which is Pirate Jenny and Amsterdam. Yeah. So we have those, and maybe the one before as well, the Mariner's Revenge, Pirate Jenny, and Amsterdam. We have that section.
All right, which is the torch section.
Yeah, but we call it the deep and meaningful cabaret.
I love that.
You know.
Has your brother come to see Simpatico?
No, he's supposed to come on Sunday if he can make it, but he's very, very busy,
He's
as
very,
everyone knows.
Give me some time. I do hope you guys do a song together at some point. I think it will be interesting duet.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think we will all be buying yours a half cent on Spotify for that.
Oh
for
yeah,
that
that's
song.
that's how much.
Whatever
Yeah.
you get. Any albums that you're busy with at the moment?
So no, not at all.
Have you not?
I've written some songs since the last one, but I haven't done anything with it. I'm a little bit disappointed by the whole industry and the fact that nobody wants to listen to your music. But I put my songs in my shows whenever possible. So I have two of my songs in Simpatico that I do on the guitar. And yeah, so whenever the time is right, I will go. I mean, I really love the process of going into the studio, really taking your song as an embryo almost, and putting that in front of the musicians, and then they can really develop that and really make something incredible of it. Like when I had 5 musicians working with me on the first album. But even that, I didn't have that opportunity after that. The teams became smaller. Smaller
Like
after that.
Harmonica. Why do you think that South African theatre can learn from the UK and vice versa? What UK can learn from the South African theatre scope? Because I think that it's tricky, something valuable that you think that we've got as South Africans in terms of theatre?
It's a very difficult question.
It is difficult because I
Difficult to
also think
answer.
about it, and I kind of think, do I go to enough theatre?
Yes, but
And why don't I sometimes go?
Do you support theatre enough? Yeah.
Well, I do and I don't. Because
But you don't have to.
I get bored super
That's
quickly.
the point. But that's the point.
You know, and I kind of think one judges yourself. You kind of go,
Yeah. But exactly,
know.
that is exactly, and we spoke about this last time actually. So for me, I am not interested in theatre when I need to be a passive observer.
right.
So when it's like I could just as well be watching TV, it's like, you know, the fourth wall, yeah? The pros arch, kind of like, you know, I'm basically watching TV. Then what is... I understand there's artistry and there's talent.
Of course, and it's also the live thing of it.
Yeah. But
know.
I'm not interested in that kind of theatre, so I don't tend to go to things like that at all. I'm not interested in that. And so the kind of work that I create, I really want to empower the audience, not wake them up, but empower them as well to be part of the action. So I really believe that it should be in the shared experience. So
I think that's lovely to have that shared experience without necessarily the idea of shock.
yeah, exactly.
Because that's starting to become a thing for me, where every time theatre's different, it has to shock me. You know, to the point where I'm going,
yeah, come on now.
You know.
Yeah.
And there has to be different techniques to engage the audience, which I think we can learn from you. You know, in terms of that audience participation, you know. And what are you doing your next doctorate on? First, tell me just before, tell me about the scholarships. Just brag where you studied.
So, well, I mean, there's no bragging really to be done.
I'm bragging
I did
about
my
you.
master's on credit cards in the UK. So as soon as I became an Italian citizen, I was able to pay European fees. Before that, I couldn't even think about doing it as a South African. So then I did my master's on credit cards before the fees went up in the UK, and I couldn't get any student loans or anything. So after that, I couldn't find any job interviews, even in my own country, which I wanted to come and teach in, but okay. So I thought, okay, so if they won't even give me a job interview with a master's from Central St. Martin's, University of the Arts, London, then, okay, I'm going to have to do a PhD.
Exactly.
And then I had to get a scholarship because I already had the debt from the master's. And then I got a scholarship for the PhD. So I did my PhD with Leeds Beckett University. It was on an arts, mainly visual arts archive in Edinburgh. So I had to go, while living in London, I had to go between London, Leeds and Edinburgh all the time to do this for 4.5 years. So I did it a little bit faster, part-time PhD. I did it faster than I needed to, just to get it done.
Yes.
And I was used to making a production every year, once a year at that time. So I kept making a production every year. So that was the norm. I was used to that. So I used this archive. So my PhD is in archival performance. So it's really about using the archive as inspiration to create work. And as part of that learning, I discovered participatory performance, immersive performance, but I put the two together as one of the strands of my PhD. I wanted it to be immersive participatory performance, so it's one thing, it's not one or the other. And I discovered, for example, the work of Tadeusz Kantor, this Polish theatre director who broke all the rules. I mean, originally visual artist, but who broke all the rules of directing by doing live directing, and also anti-theatrical lighting. And so this is post-dramatic theatre, which I started studying post-dramatic theatre actually as part of the MA. So this was then, like expanding in that direction as well. But I use some of his techniques in terms of the way I move around the space when I'm doing cabaret shows, that you can't tell me to stay on the stage, because I never will.
Could never tell you to stay on stage. But it's interesting the use of space. Because at the moment, you're going all over. You haven't seen the theatre that you're performing on Sunday.
Yeah, but and again, this is quite normal to me to arrive at a new venue 2 hours before the show, and so I will just decide I will do that. So there's one Bewitched I always need to do on top of the bar counter, so I know that that's gonna happen. So that's the place for Bewitched. That's it. But I will be able to look at the space and decide. Only really Bewitched. The rest I just go with the flow. And people have said to me, and in fact this venue for Sunday, she said, what kind of lighting do you need? And I said, well, ideally I need a follow spot for while I'm walking around in the audience.
So exciting.
But I know that's crazy. That's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna have someone going around following me.
I'll do it.
So
it's strange for me because you're right, because a theatre is a theatre. It's not a stage where you see it, there's Aletia on stage. It's you everywhere. So I can't wait to see it. Any strange audience members you've had in the past? I remember last time you had that other woman.
Yes.
Have you had any more interesting?
What did she say? Sing a happy song.
You said it different.
Sing a what? Don't sing a sad what? Stop singing the sad songs.
No, she said, sing something funny.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I know what I'm dealing with. But in one of the one song that I'm singing on Sunday, what actually happened with that song is that an audience member actually walked out in the middle of that song.
Why?
Because it was directed towards him. And that was very interesting. There's only once that this happened.
Why?
He didn't like the spotlight on himself, obviously. But once I've got this one, once I focus in on someone, it's going to be, probably be that person for the whole song. So he walked out on me.
He didn't realize he was a co-actor. He was your support.
He wanted passive theatre performance. I sit here and I watch you, So I often say to my students, this is not, you are not in the theatre. At least look like a student. At least have a notebook. At least make some notes. This is not the theatre.
Participate.
Oh, sorry, microphone.
Have some sound problems.
I got really passionate there. Yeah, how I argue with my students,
Well, I'm going to participate in your show to have a notebook. We make notes of everything you're doing. Listen, Aletia, Upstairs. Are you going to come chat to us again?
This blue theme is really good, huh?
I like this blue theme. So you were in, I think, you were in our first podcast. Thank you very much. First one.
Oh, really?
First
okay.
one.
Oh.
So this is now the second time. So thank you for coming back, and I hope to speak to you again.
It's wonderful.
And I hope that you do a masterclass in cabaret.
I hope so
where
too,
I can do my torch song. But it's just the most depressing song in the world.
I hope that you come and do the Good Fairy with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're invited.
Aletia played the good fairy and I played the bad fairy in the show, and we asked if we could swap, but that wasn't possible because I have bad written all over me. And you've got good written all over you.
Somehow.
Listen, thank you, and I hope to chat to you again soon. Please subscribe to our channel if you like this, and if you follow Aletia, I'll put the handles downstairs, and know when you're going to watch a show by Aletia, you're not going to be passive. You might be passive-aggressive.
You might walk out. But if you can handle it, if you can't handle it, you'll walk out. It's fine.
She's looking at the
It's fine.
She's the camera.
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking.
Thank you, Aletia Upstairs. There's the camera.
Thank you very much for having me, Hanlé. Thank you. Oh, that one. Yeah. It's like.
Thank you.